My dear brothers and sisters, at first glance, what Jesus Christ is saying when he says to hate your mother and father, wife and children, brothers and sisters, even his own life, he cannot be my disciples. What he's saying here is not to take offense against them or hatred in the sense that we know it. When we look at the Greek word, the Greek translation, the word is miseo. And miseo means those who put mother and father, children, family above God. Okay? Above God. Cannot be my disciples. God must be first within our life. And sometimes when we hear that, we become a little bit resistant because our love for our mother and father and our family are so great. But sometimes they too can become our idols. Meaning, love comes from God. And from that love, it extends and radiates towards our family. And when we rely on God, in the same way that our mother and father or our family should rely on God, then we see there is a cohesion, there is a unity, and understanding, the reason why I love my mom and dad, not only because they gave me life, but because it is God who gives me life first and foremost. It is God who gave me my mother and father or my children. And so to live in that gratitude is to live in the realization that the cost to be Christ's disciples is to let go of our earthly desires, is to let go of the worries and concerns that is forming within our own heart because we're trying to control our life. Sometimes we have fear of trusting in God, and it's hard to let go, perhaps, of our possessions, of our relationships, of our thoughts, of our expectations. But then we look at God and we ask ourselves, has God ever failed us? Has God ever failed his people? No, not even once, my brothers and sisters. We have failed God many times, but God has never failed us. And he loves us so much that he sent his only Son into this world to take upon our human flesh, to sanctify our body, to take our body with him in heaven so that we can be with him for all of eternity. And that is where he calls us to renounce all our possessions. Because possessions, whether you're possessed by the things or relationships or thoughts or emotions that are negative or fears or sins, these possessions are impeding us from total consecration to God, from total freedom. And because of these possessions, we live in fear. What if somebody takes my car? What if somebody steals my money? What if somebody takes my time? All of that is not ours to begin with, but we cling on to these things because we find security in them above God. So what must we do to let go of that false security? We must always come to God and trust God not by sight, but by faith. Because sometimes we just want to see. If I don't see, I don't believe. If I don't feel good inside myself, God must not be loving. If I don't always have energy to wake up in the morning, maybe God isn't there for me. No. The love of God is beyond our human weaknesses. And the person that displays the love of God is Jesus Christ, who gives himself day after day, so much so that he chose the cross. And so we too are called to choose the cross within our life. To recognize that, yes, in our suffering, it is a choice. Yes, the cross sometimes is given to us, but it is a choice to carry it with what? Joy. It is a choice to wake up in the morning and to smile. It is a choice to look at each other's face and says, I love you. That's a choice. But we can also choose the opposite. We could choose to isolate ourselves. We could choose to be angry. We could choose to be prideful. We could choose to be uncharitable. And when we choose all of that, what we are choosing really is a path north towards heaven, but the wider path towards desolation and darkness. And so this very day, count the cost, as Jesus Christ says. Just as a person, after constructing a building, will count the materials he needs in order to construct this building or this house or this tower, what we count is, in order to be Christ's disciples, I must be patient. Today, to my spouse, to my children, I must work hard to provide money for my family. I must study so that I can have a job, not for myself, not for my own greed or selfishness, no. But one day, my parents too will be elderly. And I want to return what God has given me through them. I want to take care of them. That is love. And it extends, right? Because love will expand us in ways where God says, I will give you more than you will ever imagine, so that you can also feed those who are hungry, clothe those who are naked, give water to those who are thirsty. But the moment we focus on our own needs, and we only focus on, this is for me, myself, and I, trust me, you will live in desolation and emptiness. And you will always feel, I never have enough. But the moment you do it for God, you will see God will always bless you with a freedom and a peace where you say, I don't only have enough, I have everything I need in this life. And so let us this day recognize the cost of discipleship is love. And love requires sacrifice. And that sacrifice is rooted in Jesus Christ, who sacrificed his life for each one of us.